with the right people every week to review where we are with this thing and have a specific strategy on what kind of document we want to put together, what kind of presentation we want to make, what kind of outcomes do we want. We need a strategy so that when you go to Washington, D.C., you have something that you can articulate and very effectively. So I'm kind of like Jerome over there. I'm not comfortable with approving money for something that we don't know what we're going to do yet, and I'm also not comfortable with trying to do this in some halfway manner. We have to do a professional job on this thing if we're going to be successful. So we need to put some resources and some kind of discipline together so that we have all agree on a strategic plan for the trip and what it's going to look like. It's kind of not in my head yet what we're going to end up with. It's a marketing proposal of some type that we're going to put together.
I placed a call. They haven't gotten back to me yet, but you met these people with me, Steve, James, Bernie, and Lindy Ross.
Mm-hmm.
And they live out in Little Rock Cove. And Jim is a staffer for a senator in Washington. He has offered to help. So I was hoping I get a return call in the next couple days, and I can get a sense, if he can provide it, what we actually have to have.
Okay.
What is the norm package going to an appropriations meeting? And he offered to help, and I'm going to try to see if he'll let us utilize that help, and he's qualified to help us. So I have that phone call in right now.
So we need to put together bear with me on this. We need to put together a schedule of events of what we need to do between now and the time that you depart, and what has to happen along the way here in the coming weeks, and which groups are involved, and how we review this, and how we get you folks prepared to walk back there with your
we have to win.
winning ways and represent the city of Depoe Bay in the most professional way. That's what I'm thinking about here.
Well, I'm planning on making that happen.
So we need to orchestrate it. That's what I'm talking about. So how are we going to orchestrate this?
We have a pretty vivid picture in front of us right now, and all you have to do is go around and walk around in the harbor, and you can see, plus all of our documented photographs of the piling that are almost eaten completely through, the docks that are coming apart, all of that stuff is, as we speak, being put together.
Okay.
Brady is putting together a portfolio, and the reason I'm trying to get ahead of the thing is you're absolutely right. We need to do it. We need to do it now.
But we need to, as a council, we should be comfortable. When you get on the airplane and go back there, we should all be on the same page. That's what, and make sure that we're all owning up to this and we're all comfortable with what's going on, right?
That's absolutely correct.
Okay, that's kind of what I think. See, Purdy, can we have some kind of schedule of events that gets connected with all this?
You're talking about how the city's gonna proceed?
Yeah, all this stuff that we're gonna do, the work that we're gonna do, and the package at the end of the schedule is this portfolio, this proposal, this plan of action, this funding request is gonna be in Mr. Mayor, his hands. Between now and then, there's a bunch of those steps that we have to go through and resources to get that done.
Well, that's true, Steve.
I'm saying,
I'm not arguing that point. But what I am arguing is I want the commitment so everybody's on board, and we're going to move ahead on this and go back there and come back with funds in our coffers for the city of Depoe Bay.
I get that.
I don't plan on talking just to about the harbor, I'm gonna go back with the entire city in mind. And bear in mind also, Ron Wyden and, Representative Schrader and Senator Merkley and others, I've talked to these people along the line, and they know it's coming that way. And this Ray Bushager, he's gonna help us with it.
Okay.
So, I'm just sensing the urgency of the whole thing. That's where I'm coming from. Yes, go ahead.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we make this an agenda item for the next city council meeting and that'll give Prairie a chance to move forward with the cost estimates as far as travel, lodging, meals. That's my motion.
I just have one question though.
Now, we have to second that or
Oh,
ignore it. Somebody to second that?
We have a second on
I'll second that,
Okay.
and then sure.
Now you,
it? Now discussion?
okay, the discussion I have here is that you said you want to go to Washington, you're gonna come back with funds. When you are reading this here, you're not gonna come back with funds, because it's gonna take a while to get it approved.
Well, what I meant was a
Right.
commitment.
Exactly.
That's,
I mean, I see here, because
they
you know,
just see me walking out of Washington, DC
A lot of
with a
money
target
in
bag.
return.
right, but I mean, it's not a guarantee, but, and that is for 2017, correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
2016,
No,
16.
16 and
no,
17.
this summer it's 2016, next year will be 2017's budget.
Yeah,
Their fiscal years are like ours.
oh, okay.
Isn't that right?
October 1st
Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry.
through September 30th is the federal.
Oh, that's the
government.
federal.
Okay.
I'm just seeing,
Right, okay.
Mr. Mayor,
Okay.
I'm just seeing, even in this Ray Bushager, his email, this one, a lot of this groundwork can be, he recommends talking to people here in Portland also. So, some of the groundwork for requesting funds, and how did we get the funds last time, Prairie? Did we go to Washington?
Are you talking about dredging?
Yeah.
Well, that evolves as the federal government is working on their fiscal budgets.
Right.
And that dredging money goes into the Army Corps of Engineers operating maintenance
Right.
budget. And the city's part in it is contacting our senators and our congressmen and saying, we need to be dredged. And I know there was a lot of emails, but it's all, but did we travel back there? No, not for the dredging.
Okay.
There was a lot of correspondence, a lot of contacts made by the city, and sending them pictures.
Right on,
People
that's-
standing in the mud, that's down by Dock 4, so.
So the city staff is a great resource.
Yeah, and the council is a great lead on that, let's go. And-
I'm seeing a lot of these funds there, at least in the detail in this. Now there, other things can happen, just reading it. Other funds may be available, who knows? But I noticed he mentions the earmark ban here. And that the money that's spoken in here, a lot, it mentions the Army Corps of Engineers, and so a lot. So what would be the scope of the kind of things that they could do for our harbor here?
Reading that email, a lot, he mentions dredging numerous times.
Right.
He mentioned Army Corps of Engineer, we should contact those people. Honestly, when we sent the email, said we're looking for funding for harbor infrastructure.
Right.
So maybe a more specific question to him, say, we're looking for funding to replace our docks. What bag of money would we apply for? Maybe more, And that's why I'm suggesting, maybe you just need to talk about this whole thing a little bit more.
Yeah,
Kind of
yeah.
try to formulate, identify, questions we need to ask.
Yeah.
Get a schedule.
Now you're getting somewhere with, that's what I'm talking about, is that this all needs to be framed and narrowed down so we can feed the data into it and package it up so
So we can
it
sell
can
it.
be articulated. That's what we need to do, and I think you're right, here, that motion,
That was the
That
reason
was-
I made the motion, is because I want to make it an agenda item so that we can get the ball rolling in all of the directions that they need to go.
okay, thank you.
And, comment, on the comment end of it, no matter what this, trip costs, I wanna point out that it's just a small amount, a very small investment for what we have stand to gain by, going back and rubbing elbows with these people.
Fred Robinson Senior shared with us a couple stories about how they
Right.
went back to Washington and how they greased the ponds and how they had the checkbook open up. Today's a different day, but Mr. Robinson Senior felt it was imperative that representatives of the city go back to sell this, because it was a big deal.
I
So
agree.
FaceTime.
Yeah, well, whatever it's called, but, his point goes on to say that, and this is true, I mean, I, talked to my friends back east, and they know of Depoe Bay. That's the same in Congress, a lot of people know of Depoe Bay. This is a special place. And so, Mr. Robinson was encouraging us to consider not putting the expense of, going to advocate this program at the forefront. It's having the details ready and selling the package. That's what my advice I took away from him on.
Okay,
Let's stop it.
I think I'm on the same page.
And even simple things, Steve, like, canned tuna
Canned
and
tuna.
canned salmon with, product of Depoe Bay.
Mhm.
I mean,
Well, and when you're getting it from the hand of the man who may have captured it or caught it,
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
this is what I do
Yes.
for a living, this is what we produce.
Okay.
And that's what I'm saying about FaceTime.
But we gotta be ready to do it.
That's all I'm
That's the
talking
big
about.
thing.
And we could make that, make that statement true by just,
Jerome was, Jerome was.
I just have to kind of limit it to reality here, okay? Reality that there's, chance that we can get money, but when it comes to canned tuna, I'm not aware of any commercial boats that have landed tuna yet. Or put canned tuna in a can, okay?
I think it's
Takes
the
place in
illusion
Newport,
was the
okay?
important part Mr. Robinson was making the point of, Jerome.
yeah. It, I guess you could call it a remembrance. This, these little round cans like that with a nice logo around it, with a salmon jumping and Depoe Bay on the side of it. It'd probably go on a shelf and never even get eaten. People would be looking at it, it'd be a
Without that,
keepsake.
No, they'll eat it.
Well, anyway,
Let good tuna go to waste.
yeah,
But it was just, whether it's that or something else, the point was, get it in the hands, have it, not only see Depoe Bay, feel it and taste it.
and I wanna make one other statement on that, on those lines too. This, month coming, the salmon are gonna start coming through here, and I intend to catch some of them. And some of those fish that I catch could be authentic to take back there. Say, hey guys, I caught these myself. I need to.
That's everybody wants.
Oh, yeah, okay, I gotta give Zeke a couple first.
Me too.
Anyway, are we through with the discussion?
Yeah, I think so. We need to vote on this.
Have anything else?
No, we need to vote on Joe's motion.
Yeah, I know,
Okay.
I was asking for more discussion, but none, if we have none, please call.
Wyatt,
Yes.
Olson,
Yes.
Matheson,
Yes.
Gambino,
yes.
Grant.
Point of order, could I get a reading of the motion?
This is my note, schedule, for the next, schedule AJ going to DC as agenda item, next meeting, Curry will get, travel expense information together, not verbatim.
No, but you'll capture the spirit of it, yeah.
Okay,
Fisher-Bout,
Yes.
Smart,
Yes.
Thank you. Do we have any other correspondence?
not that I'm aware of. Just what I talked about, like I say, there was a couple of Bay Blue Hager emails, Blue Hager. Blue Hager.
Isn't it? Isn't it?
So no, I don't have any.
Thank you. City staff report, is Brady ill tonight? or-
Brady's not feeling well. He was in earlier today, punched out some of these memos and he went home. He's not feeling well.
Oh,
There's some nasty stuff going on.
he told me yesterday he wasn't right on top of things, so I hope he's okay.
Hopefully he'll get better. Yeah.
Yeah. And city staff report?
I don't have anything to report except just a reminder, May 19th ballot, we're on it, asking our voters to change the city charter, not asking for any money.
We did it once.
Ours is an easy one.
I'm not asking for it.
Council comments? Joe?
Yeah, I'd like to address something that was brought up at the previous meeting, about, I believe it was a bond levy for, hiring personnel for the fire department. And there was a question about, I believe that, Zeke brought it up about why it was necessary or why they would be union members. And I just wanted to address that a little bit. I know that there's a lot of both pro and anti-union sentiment that's going on, in states all across the country. I just wanted to share, I don't have personal experience, but due to my rather unique position as, the grown daughter of a career firefighter, unions are, that's the way it's done, the business is done. The city wouldn't and shouldn't be in the position if we're hiring public safety personnel that we were negotiating each and every individual contract with each and every individual. That's what the union does, is that they, the members join the union does the collective bargaining, proposes the contracts, and it's a negotiation. And, the union is there to protect the firefighters and their families in case of just about everything. Make sure that they've got good health care, that they've got a good retirement program, that they've got all of these things in place, and that the families are taken care of, that the firefighters themselves are taken care of in case of injury, all of these things. And this is just the way it's done. The union does a really good job. My father is a lifetime member of the AFL-CIO, and, it's necessary to keep in mind that these are people who are willing at any time of the day or night to leap out of their nice warm bed, possibly if it's a volunteer, leave their families and their kids behind, and go to the aid of perfect strangers, and expect no remuneration other than a paycheck, and that they're going to be taken care of the way that they take care of others. And so, we're all entitled to our opinions as far as what a union does, what they're useful for, what they're not useful for, but ultimately, that's the way that type of business is done. And I just hope that that's not going to be a sticking point. That's all I have.
Thank you. Robert?
Joe, I understand your concern and your commitment. I guess for the council, the complete council, I'm a little troubled by, for instance, the measure to hire more firemen, and also the measure to approve a hospital. I can understand, for the sake of the public, for our public, to have that announced that, hey, if you want to learn something about it, come and listen. But I really, really am troubled anytime anyone on the council is for or against any measure. I don't feel we should be discussing that at all. It is not only not our place, but I feel a commitment to be totally neutral on something like that. You mentioned union and why the union is there. Well, what if I were entity? I could also spend 10 minutes saying why I think that that's a bunch of malarkey and it shouldn't be and all that. I don't think you or I are in the place to be doing that, my opinion.
Well, just to address, I have never been a member of a union. So I am completely neutral on that because I have no personal. Well,
You
okay,
said
now
it's
let me
not.
qualify that, okay, you're right.
This is not a discussion.
Yeah, it's right.
I'm sorry.
If we follow, protocol, then everybody else has to speak
Sure.
before you come back. Steve, you got something?
I don't today, thank you.
Thank you. Kathy?
No.
All I'd like to say, Joe, is that I brought the concerns that were brought to me. I'm as Robert is, I'm neutral on this issue. Don't paste me into an anti-union position, because that's not what the
I
question
wouldn't
is
do
about.
that.
Speaking in turn, that's the way I feel about it too, and when, our fire chief was here discussing that, I felt it was inappropriate for me to enter into the political part of it, so that's why I abstained at the last meeting. And, as far as the welfare of our, employees, whether they're our city workers or the fire department, we all wish them the best, but this is something that needs to go to the public for a vote, and so therefore that's why I abstained as well. Joe? Well, it's 2:02.
Wait.
One last thought, just a reminder.
What?
A week from tonight, 6 o'clock, same place, budget meetings, starts over. Come on, guys.
Of course you have to be
Oh,
here.
I'm
What
sorry,
day is that?
Next
but I'll
Tuesday.
catch up with you later.
No, I have something.
There's typically more than one meeting.
Yeah, we have some trip plans.
A little enthusiasm.
Yeah, it's ready for 6
Sure.
o'clock.
Do I have to be a part of that?
Absolutely, you are part of it.
Robert started.
So are you, Kathy, so are you,
Next Tuesday
Steve.
is what day?
28.
Oh,
Yeah.
The 28th.
Then we have a bunch of new budget that we have to help.
The time is just about 9 for